Fabi, in your introduction of the subject, you claimed that the retirement age should be raised to 70 because Americans are living longer, spending more time in retirement, fewer younger young people are entering the workforce, and more people are retiring. So, there are more issues that need to be addressed to support why the retirement age for Social Security should be raised. First of all, older Americans are now generally better able to work than in the past. According to Tom Terry, who is a consulting actuary and the chair of the American Academy of Actuaries Public Interest Committee, Americans can work longer. According to research at the Urban Institute between 1983 and 2007, the share of adults aged 65 to 74 in fair or poor health declined from 33% to 22%. Also, because of the transformation of the American economy, work is less physically demanding. The share of workers in physically demanding jobs declined from 57% in 1971 to 46% in 2006. Nevertheless, many still work in jobs that are physically demanding, and so there are significant groups of American workers who may not be able to work longer, like you said. But suitable adjustments can be made to labor and disability policy to protect these vulnerable workers. At the same time, the transformation from a manufacturing to service-based economy cannot be ignored. Between 1989 and 2009, the share of adults aged 55 to 64 who had attended college for 4 or more years increased from 16 to 32%. The transformation had made it easier for many older Americans who also have benefited from the general mental and physical health improvements that have accompanied extended lifespans to continue working. Second is that increasing the early retirement age could encourage people to work longer, boosting future retirement incomes. Early retirement is intended to signal the society that it is acceptable to retire early. However, the matter of fact is only few people can afford to stop working before they receive full benefits of Social Security. By working longer, people can earn more, accumulate more Social Security and pension credits, and shorten the period of over which their retirement savings must be spread. On average, working an additional year raises annual retirement incomes by 9%. There's a need for Americans to work longer. In the 1970s, we faced the demographic dynamic in which a large group of younger Americans, the baby boomers, needed to be integrated into the workforce. This inevitably involved some dislocation of older employees to mitigate the impact of these changes. Corporate retirement programs and Social Security benefits were modified to encourage older employees to consider retirement. But now we face the opposite problem, an older workforce with the smaller younger workers to replace it. While we currently face economic difficulties over the long term, as we return to a healthier economy, the demand for experienced labor will prevail. And in this context, this is the interest of all those who can continue to work to consider doing so. Lastly, and most importantly, raising the retirement age would help close Social Security's long-run financing gap and increase national income. According to Tom Terry, for 2 decades, Social Security's trustees have reported that the system is not in actuarial balance. Their 2010 report states that without corrective action, the program's trust fund is expected to be exhausted in 2037. And thereafter, tax revenue will be sufficient to finance only about 75% of scheduled annual benefits. The Social Security actuaries estimate that increasing the full retirement age to 68 for those turning 62 in 2022 or later would eliminate nearly 29% of the 75-year funding gap. By encouraging people to work longer, increasing retirement age would also boost national output, creating more resources that could be split between workers and retirees. Our other fixes to Social Security rely solely on redistributing the resources we already have. So, in conclusion, according to Social Security Solvency and Sustainability Act, raising the retirement age to 70 will reduce debt held by the public by $6.2 trillion by 2085 and eliminate the current differences of $5.4 trillion between benefits promised and what Social Security can actually pay. creating a solvent and sustainable social security system that will be able to provide the benefits promises the future generations without raising